All right, guys, welcome to the Black Financial Channel. I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World and the Black Business School. I hope you guys are doing well. Hello, Miami. How are you? Hello to everybody on Instagram. Our Instagram is The Real Boyce Watkins. I wanted to, first of all, say hello and welcome you guys to the channel, and also ask everybody, please hit the thumbs up button and hit that notification bell so that you'll be notified whenever we go live. As you know, we bring intelligent Black topics to you. Some financial, some otherwise, but either way, we're always bringing Black intelligence to you, Black excellence to you. And today, we're going to talk about something real interesting. This is a perspective you ain't going to hear from nowhere else, but I think it's a great point of view, and I almost see it as an apolitical perspective. It has to do with Trump's tariffs. Now, give me a yes or no, guys, if you're aware of what's going on with the trade war with China and Trump's tariffs and how he's imposed tariffs on the Chinese government. Where Chinese goods are tougher to sell in the United States. Is anybody aware of that? Give me a yes or no if you've been following any of that and paid attention to any of that. Okay, so I see Miami says yes. Linnell says no. Okay, just joining. Good afternoon, everyone. Your YouTube name, Fo That Ass. I love it. That's a great name. Yeah, so yeah, will we fight for that ass? How about that? Okay, somewhat, not much. Okay, so well, basically what's going on is that Donald Trump is in a trade war with China. It's a legitimate trade war to some extent in the eyes of some, because there is with China what they call a trade imbalance, and the trade imbalance basically means that, you know, we're buying more from them than they're buying from us. That they're making money off of us. We're not making nearly as much money off of them. And there are a lot of people who are disappointed with that, who are very you know, who feel just, you know, like that's an insult, right? And so what's happened is that Trump has kind of taken this on head on, and it's his thing, and it's fine. I don't really care one way or the other. And so this has caused some economic challenges. Stock market's kind of volatile up and down, and but a lot of people, you know, base their opinion on the trade war. You know, they connect it to their opinion on Trump. Right? Like if you don't like Trump, then you hate the trade war. If you like Trump, then you love the trade war, right? That's kind of where it is. But my guest for today actually has an opinion that I think is worth hearing. His name is Mr. Frank Lewis. Frank is the founder and CEO of Men's Business Quarterly magazine, which I met Frank in Atlanta when I was down for the We Buy Black convention. Let me just tell you, Frank's magazine is second to none. He's got an apparel line that is amazing. I've worn his apparel actually on my platform. And before I begin, I'd like to ask my brother Frank, how you doing today, man?
Oh, man, I'm great. I'm glad to be on your show, man. I've been giddy all week about this. Man, I just want to throw it up in the air, man. Just go ahead.
Yeah, brother. Well, I'm excited to have you, man. I'm very happy to have you. And I had a great conversation with you down in Atlanta. And I was super impressed with what you were doing with your brand and Men's Business Quarterly and everything else. And I know that we have a lot of mutual friends as well. And I just think that what you're doing is great. So let me just jump into this. You began the conversation about the tariffs in a way that's really interesting and unique. Shows fitness of thought. You know, a lot of people align, you know, based on Democrat, Republican, liberal, conservative. You had an opinion that is probably not going to be, that wouldn't be popular in liberal circles or in the Democratic Party about the tariffs, where you actually almost feel like the tariffs are actually good for Black people.
I mean, what people have to understand is they're actually watching The Art of the Deal live. I mean, in living color. Like, that's what this guy does. You can hate him, love him, I don't care. You have to watch what he does. And for Black people, I think the tariffs is a good thing for the community. I mean, if you think about it, what is it that we're getting from China that we really need? I mean, they can say, well, there's hurting certain jobs and this and that and the other. But I honestly don't even know what we get from China. I know we import what is that fish called? The one that's bad for you. No, it starts with a T. Tilapia.
Yeah.
And it's farm raised tilapia. Other little small things we can get that from the Black community. Our toothbrushes, our soaps, our tires. There's even Black gas stations. We should be looking at this as a way to turn inside of our community and start buying from our community. What's going on with the tariffs really don't have anything to do with us. We need to feed within ourselves anyway. I was buying some fish the other day, and I have to think about this because Dr. Claude always talks about it. We don't own any of the ports. We don't own no seafood ports. And I'm in the seafood place and I'm buying seafood, and I'm starting to think, wait a minute, this is the second raw seafood place I done bought from, and they're all Chinese owned. Now, I don't have any problem with Asian people or any other race, but why don't we own those raw seafood places? Why don't we own those wing shops, those nail shops? The Asian people have somehow figured out how to feed off of Black people, and they sit in our neighborhoods and they feed off of us, and then they take their money and go back to their community, but they're sucking up all the money. Nail shops, wing salons, nail shops, wing shops, beauty salons, I already said nail shops, but beauty supply stores, liquor stores. I mean, those are all Asian places.
Well, I think that your point of view is very very unique and very interesting. In that I like it, not because I necessarily have to agree with it. I like it because it represents creative, independent thought amongst Black people. Because a lot of Black people, if you ask them, like, how do you feel about, if you literally line up there's no policy that Donald Trump's administration could pursue that certain people are ever going to like. Like, if you hate Trump, you hate everything. Trump could show up to your house and hand you a check for $1 million. You'd be like, I hate that check, right? Like people just, because we get caught in that group thing. And I'm not telling people that they can't be a part of the process or be Democrat, Republican, all that. But when you're out here just banging for the Democrats without thinking about what you're actually pursuing, then you're going to end up, in some cases, harming your own people, harming your own community, right? So, so I like the fact that you open up that exploration of ideas to say, wait, do we really have a dog in this fight? Do we as Black people actually?
We don't. Most of the time, we don't have any dog in any political fight. None of this stuff really matters to the Black community because we have not fixed ourselves. So this stuff is great on a global scale, on a United States of America scale, but the Black community is much smaller than that. And we haven't fixed any of our small problems to be worried about, all this kind of stuff. I tell people all the time when they ask me about, oh, did you see what Trump tweeted? Did you see about the court case with us? I said, listen, that's white folks' business. That don't have anything to do with us. We can't feed ourselves. Our schools are still not good. We're not in the stock market. We're barely participating in the real estate market. None of what's going on, other than the opportunity zones that the Trump administration has created, has anything to do with us. It don't really affect us. I mean, I do business all the time, and it doesn't matter. Black people have been in this country for a very long time, and it doesn't really matter who's the president. Money is made all the time.
Well, I do agree with you. I think that, what people have to understand is that who's in the White House ain't going to affect your economic situation that much, unless maybe if you work for the government or something like that.
Yeah.
But for the most part, what affects your economic situation is what you do. Like if you don't save and invest or make smart economic decisions, then you're going to be broke no matter who the president is.
No matter who the president is.
Trump under everybody. But if you're making good economic moves, you can make money under any administration. I made money under Bush. I made money under Clinton. I made money under Obama. I made money under Trump. It can't stop, won't stop. If your mindset is right. And so I agree with you. I think that when you're talking about politics and us getting caught up in these fights, it's almost as if that's yet another reflection of how we've been sort of imperialized. We become like a puppet community where,
exactly.
you know, they will literally like the puppet master. They'll stick their hand up our ass and start moving lips for us. And you got these black people that they put on TV to represent democratic interests. And they say, okay, we need all black people to believe this, or we need all black people to do that. And then they start doing that with like clockwork without thinking about how this is going to affect the core community and the masses. And so, so let me ask you about this. You know, in terms of supporting black or Chinese businesses, et cetera, do you really think, Frank, that we can blame the Chinese for being hustlers, for going out here?
I don't blame them at all. I'm just saying we need to wake up. And that's why I say the tariffs. I mean, if he's going to do that and put bans on them, which they have been eating off us a very long time. I mean, to be honest, Chinese have been getting away with murder as far as the percentages of what they have to pay and what we have to pay. So, you know, I don't have anything against them. I think it's great, but I think it's time for us to start looking around and seeing where we're putting our money. Like, they don't really have a vested interest in helping us. They don't fight for us. They don't do anything for us. They really don't care. So why should we care? Why should we support? I stopped going to those seafood places because they're popping up everywhere. I don't know if you've been to one, but there's these markets and they sell raw seafood. You can have them fry it or cook it or steam it or whatever. But these places are popping up everywhere because they realize black people eat seafood. And Dr. Claude said that we are the #1 consumers of seafood in this country. So why are we throwing that money away? And all I see is black people going in there. I don't see any white people going in there.
Well, y'all hear what this brother's saying, right? He's saying, wake up. That's the alarm clock. Y'all need to wake up, because at the end of the day, what's really happening is that they got you so focused on the minor things, right? But you'll focus on what Trump said about you. Oh, Trump don't like black people. I don't give a damn. I don't like him either.
I don't care.
I don't like Donald. Yes or no? Yes or no? How many of y'all in here don't like Donald Trump? How many of y'all think he's a blowhard and an idiot and a dumbass and a prick? Give me a yes or no. Do you think Donald Trump is an idiot and a prick? I want to get a yes or no from the audience. And anybody who thinks no, I want to ask you why. But yes or no, how many of y'all think Donald Trump is unqualified to be president? That he's a joke, that he's a jerk, that he's not a guy that you want to work for or work with or be around on a daily basis? Yes or no? How many of you agree with me when I say Trump is not a good guy? Okay, I'm seeing a lot of yeses popping up in the chat. Okay, now I want to ask you another question. How many of y'all think Trump actually gives a shit what I think about him? Like, how many of y'all really think Donald Trump sits around and just says, gosh, you know, I saw this African-American gentleman on YouTube and he said these terrible things about me, and that just ain't right. How dare people say things like this about me? That just hurts my feelings. It makes me cry.
Right.
You know, but that's what we do. We sit around and wait for these bigots to tell us that we're pretty. You know, to tell us that we're beautiful, that we're good people.
Right.
And now we act like that means something. And then if they say something negative, we're like, you know, like we just start whining. You know, we start a little whining crybaby routine, right? That defines the black community in a nutshell. Whining and crying. And the thing about it at the end of the day is that that's not going to get you anywhere. That's not how you compete. You can't sit around waiting for Donald Trump to say good things about you. What you got to look at is what you have to work with and building off of that. And so Frank, let's go back to the tariffs thing. In terms of just, you know, the awakening of buying black. It seems to me that we're making progress, though, right? You know,
we definitely are.
Yeah, we're finding it's a lot of brainwashing and a lot of just bad advice that we've received. Have you, as a black business owner, I know you got Men's Business Quarterly magazine. Have you noticed a change, you know, in the last decade in terms of our commitment and willingness to, you know, give each other a chance to love each other and support each other?
Oh, definitely.
Oh, brother, what do you think?
I think Donald Trump is a big part of that. I think that Obama showed us how to look and act. He changed the way we thought about a black man just being out in public. I think we started to wear more suits when Obama came up. Now, when Trump came into office, that was a slap in the face, because and I'm so glad Clinton didn't win, because we didn't need another 4 years of being asleep. We have had more positive push in the Black community since Donald Trump has been in office than I think we've ever had. And that's because you can't get better if there is no contrast. We want that. We don't want it to be easy. You've had more, if you look at Sharif, what We Buy Black, like all of these ideas and Black entrepreneurs and inventions and stuff has spawned because we've had to get up off our butt and do for ourselves. We don't have the Clintons to say that it's going to be okay, or we don't have the Democrats to say we'll take care of it. You know, it's feed for yourself. And with that type of mentality, we spawn great things. And I think right now the Black community is a high. If we can just try to teach each other or teach more about investing. We're not participating in the stock market enough. We're not participating in the Forex market enough. We're starting to learn real estate. We're starting to learn how to own a business. I think that when Donald Trump gets out of office, the United States won't have any more money. That's what he does. He bankrupts companies. The United States is a company, and he's going to bankrupt it. So if you're not prepared with cash and assets and stuff to reap some of the rewards, then you're going to be in trouble. So right now is the time to get it. The floodgates are open. When he came in office, the first thing he did was attack Glass-Steagall. Open up the books, open up the banks, let's make some money. Because this is his people. This is his business, this is his job. When he sat Ben Carson over HUD, people were saying, oh, he's so stupid and this and that. Why would he put a doctor over there? He put him over there because when he makes that call to open up things, he don't want anybody pushing back. You see what happens when he has somebody in the office that's going against what he's saying. So he put Ben Carson over HUD. So when he makes the call to like what he did with Opportunity Zones to open up the mortgages, he doesn't want any pushback because he's a real estate guy. So he's strategically been making moves to basically strip the wealth of the United States. And if we're not abreast to the changes, if we don't understand, then we're going to lose out again. Because there's a wealth transfer happening. People have been talking about it for a long time, and it is happening right now. Did you know investing in an opportunity zone, you don't have to pay taxes for 10 years?
Yeah.
Not only that, with real estate, it used to be you'd have to do a 1031 tax exchange. If you sold your house, you'd have to put that profit into another house in order to not pay taxes, right? But with the opportunity zones, that money can come from any asset. It can flow from any asset, from real estate to the stock market, to the Forex market, to gold and silver, or anything like that. But we don't know those things. We're living in opportunity zones and not taking advantage of it. If you start a business in an opportunity zone, there's opportunity to make money. There's a boom right now going on in the United States, and we sitting around worried about what somebody tweeted or what tariffs and all. Like, I don't care about that. The only time I care about that is when I'm trading. That's the only time it matters to me, so I know whether to buy or sell. But other than that, I could care less what the cost of an iPhone or the cost of some whatever it is. I could care less because I'm gonna buy it with my returns anyway. So.
All right. Well, everybody who's watching, I'm speaking with Mr. Frank Lewis. He's the founder and CEO of Men's Business Quarterly magazine. His website, by the way, is mbqmagazine.com. That's MBQ. MBQ stands for Men's Business Quarterly. His name is Frank Lewis, and you should check out the magazine. It's very high quality. It's a nice apparel line as well. And I've actually worn his apparel on the channel. I met him at the We Buy Black convention. I have a lot of respect for this brother. Also, do not forget that the All Black National Convention is happening on September 27th. So if you'd like to come down to Houston, you can join us by visiting allblacknationalconvention.com. That's allblacknationalconvention.com. Please hit the thumbs up button, share, and subscribe button. That's very, very important. Also, make sure you hit that notification bell so you'll be notified whenever we go live. And I'm gonna run through quickly the list of people that are coming to the All Black National Convention. We got a lot of great people coming. With Danielle Pierce from Fly Nubian Queen TV, Jessica Smith, CPA, Ronique West, Noma Langa Mushali Moses, Constance Carter, who's owns the largest Black real estate firm in California. Sharif Abdul Malik, CEO and founder of We Buy Black. Michael Imhotep, founder of the African History Network. Jade Arundel from FlyNewBeanQueenTV.com. Dr. Ron Daniels. Dr. Latanja Watkins, who happens to be my sister, but she's also a medical doctor. Dr. Rick Wallace, Courtney Crawford, D1, the rapper. Y'all know D1. Etan Thomas, former NBA player. Dr. George Frazier, Willie D from the Ghetto Boys. Julian Gordon, a real estate expert. Lawrence Watkins, who's my brother, who also happens to run the largest Black-owned speakers bureau in the country. Attorney Nicole Compton, leadership expert Nicole Price, and Miss Vicky Dillard from FlyNewBeanQueenTV.com, and more. So if you want to come out to a hell of a Black family reunion, fly to Houston, September 27th, that weekend. You can get discounts. If you go to allblacknationalconvention.com, there's a code you can use to get a discount on your hotel room. Bring your family, bring your cousin, them, whoever you want to bring, and I guarantee you're going to love it. And then we'll be in New York in October for a totally different kind of event. It'll be a day-long investing summit. You can go to drboycenewyork.com to learn about that. Okay, so hit the thumbs up button, please, and let's continue this conversation. So, when you're talking, Frank, man, when you were talking, I was thinking about you spurred a thought in my head that I wanted to share, and I lost the damn thought. And I wish I had it because it was a good one, but if it comes back to me, I'll bring it back. But one of the things that I like that you mentioned is the fact that, when you talk about this wealth drain in the Black community, here's the thing that Black people got to understand is that, even when you think you're winning, you're losing, right? Right. And then, and you think you're losing and you really are losing, but then you have a greater chance of winning when you think you're losing, because that's when you actually start coming together, unifying, and working harder, right? So when Obama got elected, we thought we were winning, which is why we started losing, because we fell asleep, as you said. But then Trump came in, we thought we were losing, but really we started winning, because that's when people started to unify. And in fact, actually, I don't know if you guys know this, but the NRA, National Rifle Association, check this out. Y'all may not know this, but check this out. Did y'all know that NRA donations have plummeted since Trump got elected? Like when Obama was in office and they were scared, they were all pumping up and building their institutions. They were building they were like, he's gonna take away our guns. We need to get our guns. So gun sales shot through the roof. NRA donations shot through the roof. Membership shot through the roof. Trump gets in office, they fell asleep too.
So they did. They fell asleep.
Right. So for some of these folks, Trump is their Obama. Like basically there's something about fear that drives people to elevate their game. Fear is what gets politicians elected. That's why you never hear politicians say, elect me because I'm best for the office. No, what they say is, don't elect him because he gonna come kill you. He gonna kill your wife and your kids. He gonna hide your wife, hide your kids because the Democrats in office. Like that's what they do, right? Fear is a great motivator. It was fear actually that led me to lose weight. For years, I knew I was fat, right? It wasn't no secret, right? But when the doctor was like, your blood pressure is way too high, and it's gonna cause you some problems. You might not be breathing next year. Fear kicked in. I was like, okay, let me put down the cheeseburger and pick up the salad. Let me go ahead and start doing the things I've been putting off. So to your point, it does seem that Trump's election has been really good for Black people that want to make progress.
I mean, that's the basis of entrepreneurship. An entrepreneur that has it easy is not going to grow. You need that contrast. You need those obstacles. You need that pushback in order for you to think. Robert Kiyosaki always say the difference between rich and poor is that poor hit an obstacle and then they stop. The rich figure out how to get past that obstacle. It's obstacles and problems. I don't care how much money you make. There's always situations. But the objective is how do I think past that situation? How do I get past that situation? That's why they say most small businesses fail within 5 years, because if you have not figured out how to make that business profitable, you're going to go out of business. And if you don't think past your issues, you can't go further. It's the same thing with Blockbuster. Blockbuster was complacent. They thought things were great. They had an opportunity to buy Netflix, but it was so good and they were so asleep that they let innovation pass them by. So we want that. We want that contrast. We don't want them to give us anything. Let us create it ourselves. We'll do business with you, but let us create it ourselves and let's do it on equal terms. I think one of the great things for me is I never grew up with a white person under the thumb of a white person. So I kind of see differently. I've always been in the financial market. So it's always been level for me. Like I do business with white people all the time. I have to. I'm in the financial market. So whether it's a bank, whether it's a mortgage, I just am. So my understanding of what it takes to be successful, what it takes to invest is colorless. So I don't sit there and worry about Republican or Democrat. Black people have to learn to be like water. We need to flow where it's in our best interest. And that could be Republican, that could be Democrat, that could be independent. It doesn't matter where it is. But what's in our best interest? What's going to allow us to build generational wealth? And the only way we can do that is we have to get in real estate. We have to start owning businesses, and we have to start getting in these capital markets. And those are two things we're lacking. Yep. And that doesn't have anything to do with white, yellow, brown, green, purple. Because I tell you, when I make a trade, the computer will ask me if I'm black.
It has never asked me that either. I agree with you, man. I think I kind of feel sorry for people that were never introduced to the stock market, because we spend a lot of money on a lot of things. Like we got a lot of big spenders in our communities,
Chicken sandwiches.
Oh man, Popeyes loves black people right now. They gonna send y'all a trophy because y'all really just boosted that company.
I tell people all the time, for a price of a chicken sandwich, you can buy an ounce of silver. Of silver, I think right now is $14. You can buy silver I got into the habit of just buying silver. Every week I had excess. I just buy silver. If I need to trade it in, there's a store that I can just go in, cash my silver in. When it goes up, buy it again. But that costs the same amount as a meal, a meal at most of these restaurants and stuff. And that's the easiest thing to invest in.
Well, I like what you said, Frank. I mean, I feel like, I think it really kind of comes down to this is not something you got to go to business school to learn, but it just got to come down to the idea of seeing money as something you're supposed to keep, as opposed to seeing money as something you're supposed to give away. Exactly. That's really it. Like we grow up, a lot of us are raised to think that you get money, well, that means you're supposed to spend it. It burns a hole in your pocket. You got to let it go. And translate that into some sort of material possession or some food or whatever it is, when really, and when you get into that investor mentality, like as an investor, I spend like this, but I invest like that. Like I'm a big spender when it comes to investing, because investing really ain't spending. Like, like when we redid the basement in our house, I got the best of everything. I'm like a regular dude. When they were like, what kind of TV you want? I said, the biggest TV possible. I want the biggest TV. I want the nicest. Do you want the cheap shower head or the medium or the most luxurious? I said, I want the really nice one. The reason I did that, the reason I was a big spender is because I know I'm not spending money. I'm putting it, it's like putting it in a bucket, because now the house is worth a lot more than what than what I spent on the basement. So it's almost like putting your money into a container, and then later on you could liquefy, sell the asset, we sell the house, and we go get that money right back, and then some.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah, yes.
Put a line of credit and buy a business.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, there's so many things you can do. So I encourage everybody, if you want to just make an adjustment, I don't think you have to change who you are to really have an investor mentality. You can do what you do. Just think about what, the context where you're doing it. Like it's like if you're a violent person, you probably get locked up. You can't be violent walking down the street. But if you're violent, then maybe you need to join the military or become a football player, do something where being violent will reward you as opposed to punish you. And so for me, I'm a spender. Money would burn a hole in my pocket. And there was a time where I would spend money on things that gave me nothing to show for it. But then I was like, you know what? I think I can keep spending. I just got to spend on things that are going to give me long-term value. So being a business owner allows more range in that. So let me ask you about this, man. You were talking about, you said something very interesting about entrepreneurship and how people that tend to either become entrepreneurs or wealth builders, usually there's something that's pressuring them to do better, right? Like we make our strongest moves when our back's against the wall a lot of times.
All the time.
And I'll tell you what I've noticed, and I'm gonna get your take on this. I've noticed that the best entrepreneurs I've met are not typically like the college graduates. or those who have the master's degrees or the PhDs and all that. And I believe that it's because they always know, like, if they get the right job, you know, then a lot of worries kind of go away. They get that consistent paycheck. They get that security. It's not real security, but they feel like it's security. And they know that that's always there, which leads them to say, okay, I think I want to start a business, but I just don't have time or whatever. Mm-hmm. The people that tend to be the best entrepreneurs, I find, are the people that are just hungry, that are like literally almost like fighting for survival, who many of whom didn't go to college, but who are like, okay, I got to make this thing work so I can survive. Has that been your experience, and what do you notice in that distinction?
Always. I come from an entrepreneur family. My mom owns a magazine, Woman of Wealth magazine. She's been running that for 10 years. I mean, a lot of the people that I meet through my magazine, she's introduced me to. Janet Horace Bryant her Act One makes $1 billion. So my dad, he's been an entrepreneur. He's a licensed builder. So for me, it was almost a natural thing. Not everybody in my family is like that, but I just have that knack for entrepreneurship, and it's never been just easy. It's been a struggle, and there's been times it's been great, and there's been times it's been bad. But I don't. Anytime I've been complacent, it's been the worst times for me, because I sit there and I'm not thinking and I'm not growing. So the best times for me is when I've had to sit there and I've had to think and I've had to carve out things and I've had to try to figure it out and make it work. See, success is a great cheerleader, but failure is a great coach. And most people don't understand that. They think that if there's a problem or something happens, then it's wrong. No, what you have to do is you have to learn from that and grow. Like I tell people all the time, I teach people Forex. One of the worst things in the world is for a starting Forex trader to make money. That's the worst thing in the world. Because they think they got it, right? Yep. Oh, I made $100. I done made $200. I made $500. And then you're trading, next thing you know, you blow your account out. And you're like, oh, now how do I fix this? Well, you don't know how to fix it. Because you know, you've been making money, but you've been making money kind of on a whim without proper knowledge. Like that happened to me. I lost about maybe $20,000 in Forex. And I said, wait a minute, I was making money. Now I'm not making money. What is the problem? And I had to realize, wait, you don't know how to read the charts. You don't actually know how to read. So I went to a school to learn how to read charts. And once I learned how to read charts, I got better. And then I got better and I got better. I lost some, I got even better until I carved out a system that is just perfect for me. But the only way I was able to do that is through losing. Not through success, through losing. Success is just a cheerleader. It's just to let you know, hey, you are going in the right direction. So with entrepreneurship, if you are stagnant, that's because you are not hitting enough roadblocks or obstacles to make you think into a higher level. Look at Elon Musk. Elon Musk losing money out the wazoo. But he keeps coming up with ways to innovate Tesla. He keeps coming up ways to innovate the solar company. But that's only because he's going through it right now. People call him all sorts of names and he's stupid and this and that. But look, the he's not a billionaire, you know, just haphazardly. He's done that because he's had to think.
Well, you know, I find that the key to success is, you know, is similar to investing. In investing, actually, there's a positive relationship between risk and reward, meaning that, you know, those who have the riskiest portfolios tend to make the most money over the long term if they can stomach the risk, right? If you can stomach the ups and downs, on average, you end up making more money if your portfolio has riskier assets in it than less risky assets. And life is kind of the same way. You know, they say nothing ventured, nothing gained. But, you know, Elon Musk, you know, he's a guy that's taken a lot of risks in his career. He made a lot of money with PayPal. I think he had $100 million, and he spent like 98 million of it trying to get SpaceX off the ground. So his wife left him and all that. You know, most people ain't ready for that. Most people ain't about. You know, most people don't want, and I don't think you have to go through that to be successful, by the way.
No, you don't.
But you look at him and you realize that when a guy or a woman usually has opportunities that other people don't have, it's because they cross bridges that other people are afraid to cross. They other people ain't willing to do. They gone further than other people are willing to go. And Elon Musk is that guy. I mean, this guy, he is crazy. You know, one minute he's a hero. It's like, oh, he made an extra $10 billion. And the next minute he's like getting shamed and attacked. He's under investigation. You know, they're trying to shut him down. They tell him his company ain't nothing. But what I notice is that there's just like a consistency there, right? Just like he's just consistent. Every day he gets up, does his job, works on his company, solves his problems, and keeps it moving. And I think that that comes from a type of confidence and just sort of a knowing that, you know, when you're in your purpose, and I want it in Black folks, we know a lot about faith and purpose, right? So you need to lean on that to help you become your best self. If you know that you're living in your purpose and you have faith in that, and you know God has got you, the universe has got you, whoever's got you, you know, whatever it is that you have that's got you, everybody's got something that's got you, right? Like I believe the universe got me, right? I don't even go to church, but I know something's got me. So what happens is that when you see the ups and the downs, you just say, well, I'm just gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep being consistent like clockwork every day. And y'all have seen this. Don't listen to what I say, watch what I do. Every day I'm here, right? It don't matter if everybody loves Boyce Watkins, I'm here. Everybody hates Boyce, I'm here, right? I'm going through shit, I'm here. Things are going good, I'm here, right? And that's the idea. Find your purpose, live in that purpose, find the core philosophy that you operate on, and stay with that no matter what. And by the way, man, I want to tell you this, man, Frank. Matt Stevens made a comment that was right what I was thinking. He says that that was a great quote, that success is the best cheerleader and failure is a great coach. And I like that quote, by the way. And I want to give you some applause for that, brother. I say, good job.
Yeah, I had my fair share.
Yeah, everybody give this brother a digital round of applause for that one, because that was a great one, man. I didn't want to stop you because you were in your flow, but I like that statement. And just so you know, you better get it copywritten, because I'm gonna steal it. I'm playing. I'm not gonna use it like that, but I am gonna repeat it, and I'll
please do.
A great quote. Do you want to talk more about that?
Yeah, because I want people to understand and not give up. Like you can't give up. I mean, look at Jay-Z. Look at all the stuff Jay-Z. Look where he came from and look where he's at now. Jay-Z is one of my greatest idols, man. I look at the guy and I look at what he's built and his moves. You know, with the club, with the champagne. Now with the NFL, with like he's just, it's coming to him. Now I know it's not all him. He got a great team, but he has his hands in everything, man. I love that, and I love seeing that. I don't identify with a lot of wealthy people. Like I don't identify with Warren Buffett at all. I don't identify with Bill Gates. I just feel like certain guys were just at the right time. You know, Warren Buffett was just at the right time. I mean, those guys were at the boom of stuff that wasn't even invented. Mark Zuckerberg, I'll never look at him. I mean, he created Facebook. That probably will never happen again, something like that. And then it was handed to him. Jack Ma, really won't look at Jack Ma like that, you know. But people like Jay-Z, people like Elon Musk, people like Jeff Bezos, right, that carved out something. Literally had nothing and just carved it out. I love people like that because they show you that, listen, no matter how things look, it's gonna get better. See, people fall in love with how the dream is supposed to look. Instead of falling in love with what's there. It's not always gonna look how you think it is. But what you have to do is you just have to recognize that you're getting there. And you have to see those things manifest. You have to see those things unfold. You know, the roadmap it's just never straight. It never is. Now, there are some things that will tell you, hey, look, you're going down the wrong road. Recently, last year, I opened up a movie studio. Didn't work. I dropped it, let it go, walked away. It was painful. It was heartbreaking. But it was bringing me so much grief because I wanted it to work so bad and it just wouldn't work that I just completely dropped it. Said, let it go. That's not my space. That's not my circle. Let me go back and do what I do. And I've had such a boom with the magazine, right, that I've never had before, because that is my passion and my purpose, is to bring these stories like George Fraser, Dr. Michael Roberts, Robert Smith. Who else has been in the magazine? I even sat down with Robert Kiyosaki, which is my idol too. I love Robert Kiyosaki. That, by the way, if you're out there And you know, if you haven't read Rich Dad Poor Dad, back up. Start from there, because that's where I got started. Rich Dad Poor Dad, Cash Flow Quadrant, Rich Dad's Guide to Investing. That's the foundation of why I understand anything about finance. Is he changed my life on how to understand these things, and that didn't even come from my own family. That just came from me reading. So I'm operating my purpose with my magazine and bringing these stories that won't be on the Forbes, that won't be on the Entrepreneurial Inc. I search out these guys. I search these guys that own hotels. They're wealthy. They're just regular guys, but they're businessmen, executives, entrepreneurs that we don't know about. So my failure just made me better. I learned a lot about myself through that failure. I learned, number one, I can't handle employees. I just simply can't do that. That's just not what I do. I can't do. I'm more of a thinker than a micromanager. So I learned that I can't be in an element where I have to micromanage people and stuff like that, you know. And I also learned that sometimes you don't have to work as hard to fit things in. When you're in your purpose, it's going to fit, and it's not going to be so much of a struggle. So yeah, man, failures a lot of times are so good for us, and obstacles are great for us. We want that pushback because it's going to make your brain think. You have to flex this muscle. And when we're complacent, you can't flex it. You sit on the couch.
That's right. That's right. Well, you know, I'll tell you what, you are also a great coach, and you are not a failure. You are a great coach, and I want to be a great cheerleader, and I hope that everybody else will join me in giving a round of applause to my brother. Let's just cheer for him. Good job, brother. His name is Mr. Frank Lewis. Frank is the founder and CEO of MBQ Men's Business Quarterly magazine, Men's Business Quarterly. The website is mbqmagazine.com. That's mbqmagazine.com. And you guys should check out the magazine. It's excellent stuff. It's very high quality work. And I have a copy of Men's Business Quarterly, and I your apparel. You gave me some nice shirts, and I've been wearing them. If you guys have seen me wear shirts that say Black Icon, I think you want to say Black Icon, Black Wealth. Is that right?
Black Entrepreneur.
Black Entrepreneur. I got all those right in my closet, and I have worn them all during my podcast.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, can people go to mbqmagazine.com to actually get the apparel too, or is there a different website?
Not yet, because we're working on some changes, but we will have that before the end of the year. Because remember, I'm also bringing out the apparel that has words that are going to teach us about assets and wealth and all that kind of stuff. So that's going to be huge, because we're going to educate the people about what you're wearing.
All right.
That's going to be huge. Now, did you mention the Wealth Expo and the Economic Influencers Awards that I'm having here in Atlanta?
I didn't mention that, but go ahead.
Yeah, so this year, 2019, September 21st, I am creating the first award show for Black capitalists. And it's called the MBQ Economic Influencers Awards. People like George Fraser is going to be there, Michael Roberts, Pastor Jamal Bryan of New Birth, Gregory Baranko, a host of other people are going to be there. And it's basically me saying thank you for the guys that are out here doing the work. I hate that I got to you late. I tried to reach out to you, couldn't get you. But I'm doing this every year. So I'm telling you now, you'll be there. You'll be receiving your award next year. I'm putting it on the table right now. So I want to recognize Black capitalists, because we forgot the Madam C.J. Walkers and the A.J. Gassons and the Reginald Lewises and the Prince of Wall Street. Like, people don't realize there were more than one Black Wall Street. You know, we always talk about Tulsa, Oklahoma, but there was others in Atlanta. We had Sweet Harbor. We had Black Wall Streets in D.C. We had Maryland. There was Black Wall Streets over, but we don't talk about Black capitalists enough. We don't talk about the Black hotel owners that are at Nab Hood. Like, when you go to Nab Hood and you see all of these Black guys, right, that own hotels. And you're like, wait a minute, I thought this was owned by the Patel family and, you know, all this kind of stuff. But no, we own hotels. We're doing big things. We just don't hear about it because it's not going to be on Forbes, not going to be on Inc., and it's not going to be on Entrepreneur. And Ebony, in essence, talking about entertainers. So that's where I fit in, is I'm bringing these guys to light. So September 21st, Economic Influencers Awards. You can go to economicinfluencersawards.com to buy your tickets. It's going to be a great event, and I'm giving a free Wealth Expo to the public. It is free, and that's mbqwealthexpo.com. We're talking about real estate, cannabis, investing, business ownership, all of that kind of stuff.
All right, mbqwealthexpo.com. You guys write that down. And I'm gonna say this. I want you to process this and keep this in your pocket, just as a thought. I don't like to refer to myself as a black capitalist.
Okay.
Not because I can't identify with some of the virtues of righteous capitalism.
Right.
I think that the challenge, and the reason I would suggest maybe considering qualifying the term when you use or something like that, is because the word capitalist, it's been kind of tainted. The same way the word feminism has been tainted, right? Mm-hmm. When a woman used to say she was a feminist, it meant something different 20, 30 years ago than it does now. And so as a result, people come up with terms like womanism, or they'll say, I believe in the principles of feminism, but here's this other part of, right? And I say that because, there was a time where we had more, but business was run in America differently, like the 70s and before, where you had more what they call managerialism, where corporations understood that you have multiple stakeholders in the way a company runs. You don't just have the profiteers and the people that provide the capital, but you got the workers, you have the customers, you have the suppliers, you have the environment. You got to think about all of that. And somehow in the 70s and 80s, when they had that whole greed is good era, which was era or error, depending on how you want to look at it, it got to the point where it was all about the people at the top, all about the capitalists. And I believe that's what tainted the term capitalism. So recently what happened is you had Jamie Dimon and a lot of these CEOs signed that little pact saying, that we're going to now acknowledge the other stakeholders. But remember, it's all it really is at this point is signatures on a piece of paper. And what's happened is I think that the public trust has eroded in the American corporation in the last 30 years because the corporations got so busy trying to make a profit that they were screwing over the employees. The employees don't have guarantees on their jobs and retirement plans like they used to. They were screwing over customers, screwing over the environment, screwing over suppliers, etc., squeezing them down. So I would almost say, of course, I'm gonna support your award show. This is not even me in any way throwing any shade on what you're doing. This is just me kind of like letting you know, like, I think that term, like I do not refer to myself as a black capitalist, because in fact, when I hear from people that are more on the left, like maybe say an Yvette Carnell kind of person, they'll say, this is what these black capitalists do. Look at what these black capitalists are. And it's like, no, black business owners and black wealth builders and black people who believe in free enterprise and job creation are not necessarily equivalent to the same capitalists that wanted to enslave human beings, right? Or the same capitalists who want to destroy jobs and hurt people. No. Need business owners. And so the danger of that far left, because remember, let's just be real, the civil rights movement hurt black people.
It did.
It helped in certain ways, but it hurt us because we got caught up in this integration egalitarianism thing, which I believe have roots in socialism, communism, right? Where you start to think anybody who makes money is automatically evil, which is not true at all. And so at the end of the day, everybody's screaming and hollering, getting mad because a black man made some money or a black person built a business. They need to understand that if the community has no resources, you can't grow, you can't build. You need business owners to provide the jobs. You need your business owners to provide the funding and the endowments you need to do your activism. So what I think is that we have to have a space where we can all at least get together on this thing. So I would say the compromise can be, look, I actually am not a fan of the way the white man practices capitalism. No disrespect. No, but seriously, I don't like it. I don't want black people to imitate what they do. That's why we teach completely different principles in the Black Business School. But at the same time, I want those on the left to reconsider some of these ideas where somebody told you that a black person's evil because they own a business or because they made some money.
That's crazy.
But you get these mindsets, these people that want to destroy everything but build nothing. That's why your ass is losing. That's why black people are in last place in every relevant category of success in America. And we got to come together if we want to build something that works. So
well, you know who created that monster? That monster of the white capitalism you're talking about is the government. All of the subsidies that they give these companies is what creates that monster.
Yeah,
because we're not talking about true capitalism where me and you have a choice on which product to buy based on the service. Because if the government is subsidizing these companies, they don't care what they give you because the government's going to pay for it. Same thing with the mortgages. Yep. That's why the cell phone industry has to constantly figure out how to get customers because they're not subsidized. That's why student loans are so high. If you took the subsidies from student loans, I bet you those prices come down.
Yep, that's right. That's right. You're absolutely correct. You are so correct on that. Yeah.
So if the government is feeding them, they don't care because they're gonna get paid anyway.
That's right. That's right. You hitting the nail on the head with that one. I mean, the way they bail out the banks, you know, it's like the banks are making money. They're like, oh, we don't want government interference in our lives. But then as soon as they go bad, they're like, we need the government's help. Government needs to save us. I agree with you, man. I think you're right on point with that.
Yeah, this capitalism is definitely tainted. It's not the true pure. And some people say arcano capitalism. They kind of split it. So it's not pure capitalism. It's capitalism that's fed with a silver spoon. So you're exactly right about that.
And I think just a simple term of conscientious capitalism is
I love that.
That helps too. You know, where you just say, look, ain't nothing wrong with making a profit. Ain't nothing wrong with making money. If you're selling a quality product at a fair price and you do well because of it, we should cheer for you, right? Because here's the deal: like a lot of our most successful black people. They don't create jobs for other black people. They go and they're surrounded by people from other communities, and we think that the success of one person is the same as the success of the masses, and that's true. You know, when you have things like the Negro Leagues, you weren't talking about a couple of baseball players that had a job. You had teams, managers, you had owners, you had vendors. All these people that were stakeholders in the process that benefited, but when you allow the Major League Baseball to come along and cherry pick a Jackie Robinson out of the pack and leave everybody else behind, then you're killing an entire industry in exchange for individual symbolic success. So we have to think about these models, and I just will say at the end of the day, if you are a black celebrity or a black economic success, and you can show me where you're creating dozens of jobs for black people, then that's your greatest symbol of success. Not look at how much money I have, look at what kind of car I drive. Don't nobody care about what kind of car you drive. What are you doing for your community, and how are people's lives better because of what you do? And I know you benefit people's lives. I see the work that you're doing, and I respect it, man. And everybody, I want you guys to know, I'm gonna give the URL one more time. This is Mr. Frank Lewis. He's the founder and CEO of Men's Business Quarterly Magazine. His website is mbqmagazine.com. That's mbqmagazine.com. And the award show, what's the URL for your award show?
It's economicinfluencerawards.com.
Okay, economicinfluencerawards.com. So everybody go check that out. And just a reminder on this platform as well, I'll be in Louisville tomorrow. You can go to drboycelouisville.com if you want to get tickets. Next is All Black National Convention in Houston. That's allblacknationalconvention.com. And then last but not least, New York City. We'll be in New York City, October 27th. That's drboycenewyork.com. So feel free to come out for that. And if you haven't learned to buy your first share of stock yet, just go to blackmoney100.com. We have a free training from the Black Business School on how to buy your first share of stock. So blackmoney100.com. You'll be an investor in 10 minutes, and it'll change your family forever. So thanks a lot, brother. It was great talking to you, man.
Oh, man, I love this. We got to do it again sometime.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, we should be partners. We're gonna be business partners.
There's so many topics we can touch on, man.
Yeah, me and you gonna talk off the record. I definitely want to do business with you, man. I have a lot of respect for what you're doing. All right, everybody. Well, have a good day, and thank you again, Mr. Lewis, man. It's good to see you, brother. And I'll see you guys soon. Take care.
Appreciate it.
Subscribe. Well, thank you, brother. Thank you. All right. Peace.